Listen closely. The views discussed in this podcast are solely those of the hosts. Audience discretion is advised.
Tell you what, I'm gonna let you introduce this time. Go ahead.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Winning Podcast. I am not your primary host. I am just Caleb. But here is your primary host, Luijy.
Hey, man, you know what? If we had a stand, no, not a stand. If this was like stand up, that would have been when I walked out.
Everybody, we need fake applause.
Yeah,
maybe I'll
man.
add that in the video.
We gotta get the soundboard and make all that happen. Well, yeah, welcome back everyone to another great day, night, wherever you're at. But it's another episode of the Winning Podcast. I'm Luijy. And it's another video one. I think it's been interesting trying to switch back and forth, one between co-hosts, and two between video and audio, because we, like I don't know, it's just been a lot more fun. And there's always like a different energy when I record with different people. So I think it's pretty great. So Caleb's back, and let's just get right into it, because y'all already know these are only 30-minute episodes. So
Yeah. All right, where do you want to start today? Do you want to start with the TikTok finagle?
Yeah, man, we're talking about this. Go ahead.
So there was recently, if anybody isn't aware, there's a TikToker. His name is Keith Lee. He was formerly a UFC fighter, whether it was like always televised or whatever. If you look him up, the first pictures that you find are usually like fighting pictures.
It's kind of crazy because it's funny how when some people, when they leave the limelight, if he was ever in it,
Yeah.
they just disappear.
No. And he kind of just like fell off for a bit. He was just doing his own thing. He got married. He had a baby. He's starting to train again to fight, I guess. But what he's most recently known for is reviewing restaurants' food on TikTok. Which honestly, if I had the money, I'd be out here.
Yeah.
I would be on that.
Yeah, it's a good lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a good lifestyle, especially if you're training. Like, He's not just eating just random shit just because. Like, I'm sure he's also training with it, but he just doesn't talk about that because it's not what the channel is about. But recently, another woman got on the internet and was like, I tried to pitch a show to him and he stole the idea and da 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 da. And I'm like, I want to know a couple things, right? Because he said that he had the same thing pitched to him like 3 days before she ever told him. It was pitched again 2 days after, like literally the next 2 days after they had their interaction. Two other people pitched it to him. It's all the same idea. And I can almost guarantee you that I know what the idea is. It's like we give him his own diners, drive-ins, and dives, which is not a new concept.
Yeah.
Like Guy Fieri has already done that. Again, all the greats in the food critic world have done that already. And it's not that it's a bad thing that it's not new. Like, hell yeah. I haven't seen a black guy do it. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
And I think that he deserves that. That would be cool. But he's looking at it from the situation of like, yeah, like people bring me ideas all the time. I don't really, at first I wasn't even really doing anything with this. I was just reviewing places because I like to eat, and some people did things right and some people fucked their food up, and I just got to tell it like it is. And so now this lady is like, he stole my idea and he's gonna do it without me or something like that. And I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, he's stealing my idea, and like, there's no way that you are the only person to come up with an idea, especially when it comes to food reviewing.
I think even before I watched the video, I don't even know who it was, but I was like, yeah, they already lost.
Yeah.
You can.
Also, you can't get up on a video where you're trying to trash talk somebody from a professional standpoint, and you got your like. You do not look professional.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's where I was kind of coming from. I was like, again, before I even saw her part in the video, first of all, getting on social media and saying somebody stole your non-existent idea.
TV show, yeah.
Like you just like, hey, if even if you would have sent the pitch over Instagram, that would have made it even worse, honestly.
Yeah.
Like you try to pitch me an idea over Instagram, like relax. And you're on social media trying to say, hey, like there aren't any NDAs. Like say what it is. Like say what got stolen from you. And like what you can't just be like, hey guys, I just want you to know so and so stole something from me. And they don't know what it is.
Yeah, they
But
don't know.
the minute they told me, I was like, hey,
Also-
that's what I'll get out of here.
Also, like, her credentials seem kind of foggy at best.
She ain't
To
got
be
no
like,
credentials.
to be like, to be like, I'm somebody that pitches TV shows to major networks, and I have a few Emmys.
Bro, legit, like I was telling you earlier, somebody called me a doctor today, and all I had to do was agree. like,
Oh my
okay. No, I feel like when you get on social, especially when you're in like TikTok, and even though this guy's TikTok famous, I've never heard of him. And I do agree with you. I don't think ugly people should. I don't think they should argue. Like, who gives you the space to do this online?
Yeah.
We're not doing this.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things for sure. But why are you upset that somebody else pitched him the idea? Why don't you think you guys could have still worked together is my thing. Like, why throw all the apples away? And like you said, like,
And if
your
your idea
shows
was-
have won Emmys, what shows? That's what I was saying. I was like, this lady is literally online saying, hey, like, I don't have any proof of any of this, but I guess that's what he made his video for. He goes,
exactly.
You just got online and just lied on my name.
Yeah, and he's like, even if you did do all of those things that you did, then you of all people should know exactly how ridiculous this looks.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. What's his name?
Keith Lee.
And we're able to do some research on him. He does have a
he definitely
background.
exists.
Yeah, yeah. That's my other thing. I was like, it looks like this guy could have the following to be doing what he's doing now, and to get, like you said, pitch the idea that, hey, bro, you want to be the Black Guy Fieri? Because, like you said, we don't have one.
Yeah,
And if we do, it's definitely
it's not famous enough.
yeah, like so.
because I'm not subscribing to Discover to watch Food Network,
Exactly.
and I would if
And
there
like
was
you
a
said,
cool black
based-
guy doing it.
Based on the settings, I don't think this is something a professional would try to get public opinion court of law on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
Like
Now
that's
I'm
something
trying to look up who he was arguing with.
that's ridiculous.
His name is like Jilly.
You know what? Stuff like this upsets me. Because, we're sitting here trying to create, not trying, we're actively creating content. And then people who, that lady ain't doing nothing, just comes online and goes, hey, I'm upset. And then she blows up. What is going on?
Yeah,
Like-
see, and that's another thing too. How are you gonna be like, he's stealing my clout, and then you literally just create clout off of him? Like, okay, and whatever, dude. I guess somebody could come up tomorrow and be like, hey man, I was in a room with Luijy and Caleb 5 years ago, and I suggested that they make a podcast, and they stole that idea from me. We were already doing this 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Like, what are you on, dude?
Exactly. You think you're the only person who saw my food videos and goes, hey, I got an idea.
Yeah.
Let's do a food video?
And he said that in his video. He's like, people are in my comment section making the exact same pitch, like every day, thousands of comments. Like, there's no way.
Now I think that lady just, you know what? I get it. Every now and then, you want to feel something.
Yeah,
I
even
love
if
that.
it's just the world burning.
That's the best way to put it. Which, honestly,
That goes right into the next topic.
it does. But at the same time, I want to talk about, have you seen anything about Drake being at the Apollo?
No. Let's see this. I'm gonna look it up really quick.
Yeah,
Go ahead and
man.
Tell me more.
Drake went and did a very private show. I think it was 2 days at the Apollo in New York. And tickets weren't sold. You know what I mean? It was like guest only. So most likely just celebrities and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Because that was
Yeah,
where
bro.
the cops were like
Taking-
recording the
Yeah.
whole event or something like that.
Would you say in the same way that lady said, that he stole her idea, would you say the cops stole the idea of recording everyone from the protesters?
In a lot of ways, yes. Because if somebody is using evidence against you enough times, and then somebody like the person above you starts going, "Why don't we have any of those?"
Yeah, they
go,
start
"Yeah,
doing
all
it
right,
too.
yeah,
But
like,
for
maybe
what?
we should do that."
But for what? I mean, what do you think
everybody gotta
anything
protect
crazy was gonna
themselves in
happen
some
at the
way.
Apollo while Drake was performing?
Maybe they were looking to see if any of the if any artists that they were trying to get any info on would be there. Who knows what they were
No
recording
way,
for?
bro. This man's out here protecting the blue. We are not doing this.
No, I'm not saying that it's right, but I also am here to say, like, even if they didn't have a phone that they were recording it on, they definitely would have been recording it some other way.
Yeah,
So
I guess that's fair.
The only thing that we know is that a dude was standing directly in the front with a phone, which is also kind of just weird in and of itself. Like, it just didn't make any sense.
They gave him the shitty job of the day.
Yeah, and homeboy was like doing the the white man smile when he's like,
yeah, bro.
he's
He
just
knew he
like
was
nodding and like recording everybody. It's like,
How do
dude,
you,
what if I just smack that out your hand real quick?
How do you feel about Drake and the pink mink coat?
Ooh,
And he was
was it
bro.
real mink?
It was the exact same one he wore.
Well, is mink even is mink vegan?
No, but you know which mink coat I'm talking about.
Let's see. I believe I'm looking at it right now.
Man, we're about to expose Caleb.
Yep.
As not knowing.
For not knowing anything about the news.
No,
Oh my
not the
God!
news.
First off, I
Not
know
the
his
news.
head was hot.
He doesn't even know whose pink coat that was. That's what's crazy. And we're exposing him right now. We ain't even gonna tell him.
Oh my God! Okay, I do know it's Cameron's, but at the same
He had
time,
to look it up.
But
Look
at the
at-
same time, okay, you can give me all the shit you want. I'm just looking at this. This has more hair on his head, and I know that was sweaty. He is not returning that.
No, well, it was gifted to him. He gets to keep it.
Oh, okay.
So people are giving him crap that he's going around buying, like hip hop, pretty much like hip hop trophies and memorabilia, and they feel like he shouldn't be able to.
Why not?
That's what I said.
That'd be like LeBron James is collecting Michael Jordan collectibles.
Yeah,
And they're like, that's not fair.
They were like,
why
well,
not?
because he's from Canada. But I'm like, man, he's from Toronto.
Yeah, bro, anybody can be a fan of anything. Though.
Exactly.
Like, if I had, like I just said, if I had enough money, I would do a whole lot of things. I'd probably start collecting some wild stuff.
Yep. I'd
Like-
go around the world and be like, what's precious to y'all?
Exactly.
And I know how that sounds.
Not in a
listen,
predatory colonizer way.
Yeah. Like you go to okay, maybe not an auction, but okay, talking about it, I guess there's no real way to acquire
I'm sorry.
acquire these things legally. But
Legally.
Cameron,
I'm sure you could legally,
yeah.
and convincing people to gift it to you.
I don't know.
Even if you didn't have
well,
to
some
convince
people
it.
would argue anything you buy that's legitimately an artifact or memorabilia is probably stolen from, whatever.
I mean, yeah, but like
I'm not sure I understand.
See, you're listening.
in this situation,
Say that again.
in this situation, he didn't steal anything. Like
No, that's what I'm saying. but I'm-
having in this specific scenario, I think there's nothing wrong with what he's doing.
No.
Anybody upset is just broke.
You know what? I've realized that a lot, bro. Because
You're
I-
definitely not affording those things.
I just
That's
don't
why you're mad.
understand why we're still hating on Drake. Like, Drake is not one of the greatest entertainers of our time.
I also am like, I have a problem with people that are like, certain things belong in museums or things like that. Like, the man has a jacket, okay? Like,
Honestly,
or
I don't think
maybe
that
some
jacket's all
maybe
that
some
fire.
other like rap pieces and memorabilia. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, the amount of things that actually go into museums related to the rap industry, very slim to
Yeah.
almost nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
So Drake owning it is kind of fire because
yeah, like.
and
that is
we've
a museum.
we've seen his
yeah.
house. Like, we know, doesn't he have like
has, like,
some
a
dress
museum.
or whatever?
he has like a museum set up in his house.
That's
Like,
crazy.
His wardrobe has some stuff in it, and then
And I
he's
just
also
don't
got his
understand
trophy
why
room.
people are still hating on Drake. Like, Drake hasn't given us some of the best music over time.
Yeah,
Like, it's cool to hate on Drake, and I don't get why. And people will go lengths to explain why with no actual reason why
yeah.
they don't like Drake.
Other than I hear him too often.
Mhm.
That's exactly how it should be.
Exactly.
Why aren't your favorite artists making more music?
And my thing is, if we're being completely honest, like, I feel like Drake represents the kid in a lot of people. Because look at what he went and did, bro. He bought all of Pharrell's, jewelry collection. Something that obviously we all cared about.
Mhm.
So why wouldn't he care about it too? And if he could afford it, and Pharrell's willing to auction it off to him, why wouldn't he do it?
Hey man, and Pharrell said you could do it too.
Yeah.
Why
And
wouldn't he?
So that's my thing. I feel like if a lot of us were in Drake's position, we would be so happy to be able to express ourselves to a heart's content like we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we think it's okay. But because it's Drake, for some reason, it's not cool. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
obviously, I don't need it on a jet or a Boeing plane. But it'd be cool if I could just go out and do whatever I wanted to do. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Sometimes, yeah,
I feel like it's not even
for
worth it to
sure.
hate on him like that. And
Yeah.
you guys are broke. That's the other thing. Like, y'all are broke and all trying to, get to Drake's level. That's what you guys would do at Drake's level. But whatever, man.
And people do way weirder things.
Mhm.
Like we've already
know they do.
we've already been over like I don't know, even just like Logan Paul buying Pokemon cards.
Mhm.
Is the same thing. And sure, people get outraged about that for 30 minutes, but
Yeah.
people aren't constantly being like every time, okay, they kind of are, but anytime certain people do something, they're like, I'm just here to ruin everybody's perception of it.
Exactly.
And you're like, well, dude, I already didn't care, and now I care even less.
Mhm.
And I know that you're a hater.
And I'm
So,
definitely not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
And now you're going to give him more. Anyway. Which brings us to
Speaking of
writer.
which,
yeah.
yeah.
Some people, man, I'm realizing, and I feel like I can talk about these people because I'm one of these people. We never want to lose an argument, bro. Like, the argument is never over. We'll bring, even in a friendly fight or, like arguing or whatever,
Mhm.
like, I feel like a lot of
I
people
didn't
just,
get that. Could you try again?
I'm going to need you to relax. I feel like a lot of people always want to have the last word. And I don't know. I thought about this because the other day, me and my roommate were arguing over something stupid. I think we were talking about the cats. We just kept bringing up points left and right. That none of it held any merit, but we kept trying to like come up with new points. And then we kind of, let it be. And he walked away. Just to come back with that, but
Like, that's why
I
your
just
cat's bald, and you're
yeah,
like, it just starts turning into your mom jokes.
yeah, no, bro, like this is back and forth. But I bring this up because while again that was more of a playful argument, I was online earlier, which I don't recommend kids, honestly.
Like we said last time, some people don't need the internet.
Yeah, man,
And
so,
sometimes you need to stay away from the internet.
yes,
Just like, even if
Yes.
you deserve to have access to it, sometimes
You
it's
should
just
turn
not
it
the
off.
right day.
You should just turn it off, especially when they're talking about Kurt Cobain's. Because yeah, bro, I got online today, and there was an argument in the community that, based on I guess either some lyrics or some notes or whatever they had found, and him wearing a dress and stuff, that his like pronouns should be they them.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, as a person who uses they, them pronouns, that's something that you're supposed to decide for yourself. So, like,
That's what I also thought.
posthumously deciding that a person is a they, them is very, very intriguing. Sure, you could probably make, like, based on societal changes and the way that things have been going, probably. He more than likely would have identified a different way. Just the same way as Keith Haring ultimately identified a different way. But they also
I'm
didn't
not
really
gonna lie and
have
say who that. I know who that is.
Keith Haring?
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
the
So
famous
when
painter.
so when I call you out for not knowing pop culture references.
It's not even like
how could you do this to me, bro? But when I don't know your one reference, it's
oh my goodness.
I'm not having this.
First of all, Keith Haring is this guy.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah. So
that's a terrible receding hairline.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He died from AIDS, from complications due to AIDS, if I'm not mistaken.
Jesus Christ.
Because he was gay, and explorative, and an artist, and so like he got out. He was also. I'm also not making assumptions.
Yeah, I'm like, so to all the people out there
in the day and age that he existed in. That's what was prevalent, and the AIDS epidemic was just kind of firing off on all cylinders at the time, and so he had a platform. It's if Kurt Cobain had been like hardcore championing like non-gender identity, then sure, I could you would probably be able to posthumously say like, yeah, like if literally 3 more years and he would have come upon the like ability to identify differently. But I don't know if he ever really was thinking about it in that way. In a lot of ways, musicians especially have an ability to write a story from another person's perspective. So you could even say like, yeah, sure, if he writes a story where he's like referring to himself but like uses feminine pronouns or like da-da-da-da-da-da.
Are you saying musicians don't always make music about their direct life?
Sometimes they do.
How could you say that? On record?
It's not that it's a false pretense of any kind. It's just sometimes you write the story in a way that sounds a little different. Like it's not that it's not your life.
I'm poking out what you're saying, but no, yeah. I'm right there with you.
You know, I'm devil's advocate.
Well, no, I'm right there with you because again, you know, like you would think most people can make that. They can kind of make that distinction, right? Because I'm not here to say what Kurt Cobain's pronouns would have been, but I also realize the guy's dead, and that's probably something we should just not.
Yeah, just let it
like
be,
just let that be. I don't, and you know,
that'd be being like, yeah, you know, after 5 years, we found some music on Mac Miller's old hard drive, and he was talking about gender identity, and you're like, first off, you're snooping in a dead man's files. Yeah. That's kind of messed up.
And it was kind of relevant when, you know, he was alive when that was kind of happening.
Yeah, and he had more of an opportunity. But I don't know. Like I would have loved to see that. You know?
I do feel like
maybe he would have identified that way.
I do feel like those people who get on the internet and start those fights, one, aren't real, and two, they have to be on some, you know, propaganda to make, you know, the whole non-binary and pronoun thing just look bad. Like they're not really part of that community, you know what I mean? Like they all get together and they go, all right, guys, fair. Log in. Today we're gonna talk about, you know, it has to be.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like anyone
societal online podcast, basically.
Bro, yeah, because it has to be one of those things, because anyone who's really serious about, you know, a movement like that, I feel like they wouldn't really waste their time on that argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not really, I don't know. It's just like when people go back and they look at characters in old cartoons and they're like, they, them of the week. And they'll like put a just randomly gender ambiguous character from like the 80s or 90s or something like that.
Yeah.
Or it'll be like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Hey. And you're like, yeah, all right. You right on that one. You could probably make a wild guess that Bugs Bunny is a they, them. But we also
I feel like
we also have very clear evidence that he is supposed to be like generally thought of as male.
Yeah. Yeah.
And until WB comes out fucking almost 90 years later and is like, actually, and maybe they have. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But
no way. No way, bro. Okay, I'm not gonna take that position. I know that sounds terrible the way I'm coming at it, but I'm just thinking about all the Bugs Bunny references. I'm like,
wow, okay. Bugs Bunny is gender fluid, and it's canon.
But
it hasn't been said explicitly by WB. It's just in.
I guess
in how you use.
Honestly, can we be honest? Let's take this a couple steps back.
The animation.
Let's take this a couple steps back. we just try to talk about gender for a fucking rabbit. So let's just move on.
This is true.
Yeah.
We only
Wait,
got
hold on.
one more topic worth
Yeah,
of time
but
left.
we're not gonna spend time talking about animal. That cut.
If you want to know more about that, DM me on Twitter or at me. We'll have an open discussion.
And we're not doing
about
free
it.
promotion here. We'll talk about pricing later. Anyway, yeah, the last thing I really wanted to talk about today was Lori Harvey. I personally think that Lori Harvey is the modern day man. I mean, call that misogyny if you want, but she's out here playing the game, so we're gonna talk about it. How do you make homie hopping one look cool? I think that's crazy, if we're being completely honest. I think it's even crazier to make the guy who you're homie hopping with look bad, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like in 2023, we got women making men look bad out here. Come on.
I mean, that's been happening.
No. But I'm saying because Lori Harvey's, I feel like is the only. I don't even know what she sounds like. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if she has any.
Sounds like
I don't. Besides her
she's
being
a model. That's more what she's supposed to be known for.
We'll see. Besides being Steve Harvey's daughter, which is what I was gonna say, her reputation is for dating some of the most, I guess, in a way, lucrative men in the industry. She dated Michael B. Jordan. Now she's back in the news for dating a guy who Michael B. Jordan had a picture with, who he was calling his brother.
I'm dead.
I know, bro. That's crazy. And like I said, and who's looking bad for all this? Michael B. Jordan and the guy.
This is true.
And she's making men sign NDAs just to be with her. Would you not call her the modern day man?
That is very interesting. I didn't know she was doing all that.
What do you mean?
But I mean, I would definitely do the same thing.
Make people sign NDA. I'm not signing an
I've
NDA
already
to sit with
done
anyone.
this before.
See, I'm not doing. Do you still do it now?
No,
See, that's because
I don't need to anymore.
Oh my gosh!
I don't have a high profile.
You think Lori Harvey has a reason to make men sign an NDA?
Absolutely. She's pretty. She's very gorgeous. Like,
okay,
and I don't want anybody just running around the street.
Let's not
saying
do that.
they slept with me.
Let's not do that. Let's
What?
not do that. Yes, Lori Harvey is very gorgeous. Honestly, she's one of the most attractive people I've ever
What
seen.
am I doing?
You can't just use that as leverage to make me
No.
sign an NDA. There's a lot of hot people. There's a lot of beautiful people out there.
And
who
if
are
you don't
probably
wanna
of
sign
higher.
it, then go sleep with them.
Okay, that's crazy. How are you gonna pitch me an idea like that?
Exactly.
See?
Exactly
That's crazy.
as she has.
I'm just saying,
like, what else? What else are you gonna
like
say
an
to me?
NDA is really necessary.
Necessary, and you want to just protect your privacy, and you don't want every person you sleep with to go to the tabloids and be like, "She."
What do you think? What do you think that
you don't-
NDA is protecting? Let's be completely honest.
If I'm just gonna take a dumb guess out of left field, maybe her moans sound like a donkey.
Honestly,
maybe they do. Here's the thing. She's Steve Harvey's kid. Like, come on. You can't tell me that at some point that doesn't come out. And like, you hit I just can't even. You're fooling around, and then she just starts making Steve Harvey noises.
No way.
And you're like,
there has to be
no way. And she's like, you already signed it.
There has to be.
You can't even tell your boys.
I'm gonna do some internet research on. I got to see what she's hiding. I guess I would never really see it, but I gotta know. Because to sign an NDA, and how many high-profile men she's gotten to sign an NDA? Obviously, you're not gonna find Lori Harvey walking in the street just getting with anybody.
Yeah,
but it's like,
but I mean, even still, like, these are actors that she's with. They're used to signing NDAs. Like, it's really not even that big a deal in their community.
I guess that's fair.
Like, we're regular people. This goes back to the old point about Rihanna. I have no access to Rihanna.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I would act a fool.
Yeah. Hey. Okay, you
But-
signing an NDA to sit with Lori Harvey?
Yes. If she's like, hey, this is the only way, I'm like, all right.
I don't even know why I'm acting like I wouldn't. If I'm being completely
Bro,
honest,
and
I
who
do
am
think
I
it's
going
crazy.
to tell?
I do
Like-
think it's crazy, bro. You're not trying to tell the homies you slid on Lori Harvey. Really, you're not trying to tell the homies?
Maybe you want to tell the homies, but maybe you just keep that one to yourself. That's
Jesus
just in the
Christ.
bank.
I would die from suffocation, bro. I
Man,
could not breathe.
It's like homegirl in the video that was like, I have Emmy awards for my shows. Which ones? We can just do audio for the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And then I gotta get about it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're about to wrap this up. Thanks for sliding, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm honestly gonna go take a nap. It's been a long day at work.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Boys are kind of tired.
Get on to work. I don't
Yeah,
like
man.
that.
But yeah, thank you guys for, listening through. It's been another episode of the Winning Podcast. Don't be a Lori Harvey. Or you could be a Lori Harvey. Honestly, it's really up to you.
We already have experience with Lori Harvey's. Do you?
We out.
We out.